So he called me up, completely out of the blue, and very nonchalantly tells me that he's calling up all his past sexual partners because there's a possibility he may have accidentally turned us into vampires. I'm sorry, but this isn't like unwittingly passing around an STD. You don't accidentally turn someone into a vampire. Mind you, it was actually quite reassuring to hear, to be honest. But a lot of very weird things began to make a lot of sense. So I'd had this searing pain in my neck for days after our one-night stand. It felt like the sun was burning my skin. I had this real craving for raw meat. Oh, and I couldn't eat anything with garlic in it. I went to the doctor with all my strange symptoms. They told me technically I was dead, but I couldn't be, so they were going to run some more tests. I'm still waiting for that appointment. It also solved another mystery that'd been bothering me, though. I couldn't work out how he managed to leave my flat when the chain was still on the front door. I mean, my bedroom window was wide open, but I live on the 11th floor, so I couldn't see how he'd survived if he jumped. Now I guess he must have just flown out the window instead. Obviously I was obsessed by it all when he told me, but after a while I kind of figured, well, could be fun. I mean, The Lost Boys is one of my all-time favourite films. Cry, little sister. But life as a vampire isn't quite like The Lost Boys, unfortunately. Well, the living at night part isn't a problem. I've always been a night owl. And being immortal is an interesting concept. I always thought I'd want to die young, but I don't know, the idea of seeing how the world evolves over the next few thousand years or so is pretty appealing. It's the diet I have a hard time with. There were a few occasions in the beginning where I had to sample some living flesh, shall we say. But thankfully I met this guy called Stephen who works at a morgue. He lets a load of us come by once a week and have a good feed. And it's a really great place to meet other vampires too. I'll have to introduce you to Stephen, you'll really like him. So anyway, that's sort of why I called. The night we met up, I may have accidentally turned into a vampire. Okay, bye. Okay, who's next?